All right, everybody. For those of you who don't know, my name is Michael Forrest, and welcome to It's Quest Time. Now, before we get going, if I can ask you guys not to send me any text messages while I'm up here, because listen, when you're up here and you're performing, and all of a sudden you get a text message, it's like hitting the wall, except it's like hitting a wall of text, and that can really throw you off. So if you can save those questions and comments until the end of the event, but really the best way to get a hold of us, we're always available to answer questions about world building, event hosting, anything and everything, Altspace, maybe your device. The best way to get a hold of us is by joining our Discord. And you'll find the address right here on the front of the stage. All right, so also, if I can ask you guys not to come up on the stage area, this way nobody blocks this big display behind me and gives gives me a little bit of room to move around, do the whole hosting thing, right? Also, if I can direct your attention to the menu wheel in your lower left, you're going to notice at the very top of that menu wheel is a microphone icon. Now, when that microphone icon is clear, that means we can hear you and everything that's happening in your environment, and I do mean everything. So we go ahead and we're going to turn that to red, and this means that you're muted, so that if somebody comes into your space and says, hey, are you still on that thing, you feel free to answer them, because we're not going to hear that. Likewise, maybe if you have a barking dog in the background, you're not going to face social ruin back at the campfire by becoming known as the avatar that suddenly started barking during its West time, right? Just because you're muted doesn't mean you can't express yourself. You're going to notice that you have this pink cheek smiley face, and when you click on it, your emoji panel opens up in the air in front of you, giving you a wide variety of options with which to express yourself. So let's say I'm up here, right, and I share something really deep, something powerful and meaningful, and it touches you right here, and it starts to build up. You can just let it out and just let it flow, just like that. Maybe I got some backup dancers backstage, right, and they come on out behind me, and we break into It's Quest Time, the musical. Well, what you can do is, throw up the applause I live for, and take a moment to drink that all in because it feels good. What's going on back there over there? Romug over there in the back, sticking hands in people's faces, man. That's not nice. Don't do that thing. I can see that from here, man. Don't be doing that. That's not cool. All right, now let's say that let's say I ask you guys a yes or no question. You can say yes by smiling like this. You can say no by frowning like that, right? Maybe I say something funny. You can show me you guys are laughing by doing this laughing emoji here, a smiley face here. What's this here? What are you doing there? RuneScape GF. What's this about? Oh, well, you got a good handle on those gestures, huh? We're going to get to that. We'll show you some gestures. Yeah, I think I know what you're trying to say. I grew up in Brooklyn, so I get kind of a feeling what you're trying to say. That's not nice. Really? You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to unmute everybody. Let's do that. You got something to say? Say it. Yeah. Wow. All right, this is a person here who thinks that they're going to have a better experience. Wow, look at that. Okay, wow. Look at that, everybody. What do you make of that? All right, that's fun. Wow. Wow, would you look at that? Wow. I didn't know there were people still like that in the world. That'll really throw you off. Look at that. Look at that flips. Look at that with thumbs down. That's right. Look at that. And it's funny. That really shows you how powerful body language is in Altspace, because without him actually saying a word, he would just come up to the stage and you automatically knew he had something to say. Right? All right, everybody. And, sorry for the language there. That's not cool. All right. So that being said, let's see. So you got the emojis. Let's, wow, it really throws. So let's get an idea of what kind of crowd we're dealing with today. Hopefully we don't have more like that one. But how many of you are on an Oculus Quest right now? If you're on a Quest, put your hands up like that. And anybody on a Quest? All right. It feels good. How many of you are on an original Quest? If you're on an original Quest, put your hand up, or your hands, both of them. Any original Quest users? All right. How many of you are on a Quest 2? All right. Well, by default, everybody that did it before probably got their hands up in the air again, right? All right. How many of you are new to Altspace? We got any new Altspace users? Put your hands up if you're new to Altspace. Any new Altspace users? Kind of new, sort of new. Look at that. Look how powerful that body language is. Got a guy in the back just going like this, going a little bit, sort of, kind of, kind of new. All right. How many of you are new to VR? This is all kind of new for you in general. This is kind of like a strange experience. Oh, yeah, I got a few of you. Okay. All right, cool. All right. So that gives me some idea of what to expect here. Now, listen, when I was waiting for my Quest to arrive, at the time I was on an Oculus Go, and some of you may know that only has one controller. Now, as I said earlier, I grew up in Brooklyn, so I'm used to expressing myself with my hands. I'll talk with my hands an awful lot. But in Altspace, all anybody saw me doing was this with the one hand. So I couldn't wait to get that second controller, And when it finally arrived, when I got my original Quest, I took one look at those buttons, and I was like, wow, that's a lot of buttons. That's a lot to take in, right? And it only takes takes a few days to a week to really pick it up, but I like to go over the controls to give everybody a sense, of how to get the most out of Altspace on an Oculus Quest. All right. And then when the Quest 2 arrived, I took a look at those buttons and I said, you know what? Those are the same buttons pretty much. All right, they're almost the identical things. So what we say to one group, we're also going to say to the other. The only differences you need to be aware of is on the Quest 2, you have a little bit more room on the side, an area they call the thumb rest, because your thumb's going to get tired from pushing those sticks around, right? But now, if you touch your thumbs to the thumbstick, you're going to find that your avatar's thumbs go down. If you touch your thumbs to the buttons themselves without pushing down, you'll also find that your thumbs go down. And likewise, if you touch your thumb to your thumbsticks, you're also going to find that your avatar's thumb goes down, right? The other difference that you need to be aware of is on the very bottom of your controllers, you have this roundish kind of concave button. And this one, it's the Oculus Home button here, right? And on the original Quest, that's a flat button, but they do the same thing, all right? So, both groups, whether you're on a Quest or you're on a Quest 2, it's pretty much going to be the same information, all right? Now, I like to go over these controls to make sure everybody's comfortable, in what they can get out of Altspace there. And so the first button we're going to talk about here, because listen, if you're here today, I know you know the basics already. The left thumbstick's going to move you around like this. The right thumbstick's going to turn you in these circles here, right? And then, if you combine them, you get these big, elaborate circles that make my presentation so much more dramatic, right? If everybody can go ahead and give me these big circles like this, is when I look out, it's going to look like you guys are ballroom dancing. Let me see that, everybody. Oh, wow, nobody. Okay, we got a few in the back. You guys look fancy. All right. I always say I wish you guys could see what this looks like, and now you can. If you stand up in this rug area here and you face Ravenhall, you're going to be out on YouTube, and you get to feel VR famous. We got Hummingbird here. We got Flips over there in the corner. Wave on out and be like, hey, YouTube, how's it going, everybody? And you'll see this out up here on YouTube in actually probably about a month, because we're pretty behind right now. But, yeah, look out for that. And let's talk about this on the side of your controller. You've got the grip button on both your left and right controller, right? You're going to use this to interact with your environment. So let's say, like those skyrockets, those bottle rockets that you have in your home space, those bean bags in the campfire, those paper airplanes. This is how you're going to grab things in your environment, or how you're going to build worlds with your own two hands. And my backup dancers can toss me out some of these basketballs here. If you've never tried the grip button, now is your chance to grab on one of those and throw them around, toss them around a little bit. There you go. All right, cool. All right. Now, if you're having a room scale experience, that's usually about the time there's somebody will ask you to open your main menu, because you'll walk out past that main menu and they'll be like, open your main menu, and you're going to look around for it and you'll be like, where is it? What do you mean blue and white triangle? I don't see anything. And it's always behind you, right? This can get old pretty quickly. So what you can do is on your left controller, you're going to find down toward the bottom where you got this ASVR main menu button. When you press that, it's going to open up your main menu. Turns out you don't have to touch that blue and white triangle button anymore if you don't want to. I haven't touched that thing in months. All I do is I just shoot my hand out like that, one flick to the side, and there it is. My main menu is open, and I flick to the side again. Now my main menu is closed, just like that. You don't have to do that hand flick. I just feel it adds something, so feel free to do that if you like. All right. Also, another thing you're going to find is, listen, while these are a lot of buttons, some of these buttons do the same thing. You're going to find on your right controller, that select button, your right trigger, and if you have your left pointer enabled, your left select button, right? They all do the same thing, right? And if you hold down your right trigger right now and aim your hand through the crowd, you're going to notice everybody's name tag appears above their head, just like that, right? And that's how I know everybody's name so quickly. Like, that's how I know that's Toxic Abyss in the back, and that's how I know that's Sorothak right there, and we got Drucifer. So yeah, that's what you do. All right, and that's how you can know names quickly. All right, another thing you have here is on the right controller at the top next to the thumbstick, you have a raised up button for your teleport. If everybody join me along this wall, let's give that a try. If you press and hold down that teleport button right there, and you aim it at the ground, you're going to find you get that blue circle that appears on the floor, right? So if you aim that across the room toward that glass window there, as soon as you let go, boom, you get thrown right across the room. Everybody teleport over to me while there's still time. Come on, you guys, you can do it. I believe in you. You can make it. All right. Now, on the left controller, if you squeeze down on your left trigger, this is going to cause you to accelerate, whether you're walking or flying. This is a way to move faster, right? So if you hold down that button like that, right, you're going to see you going like this, and we can go into a big circle here. Maybe we can make it rain, everybody. Maybe we'll make a big hurricane, right? Let's see how we're doing. I'm going to check it out and try to keep it circular. Let's see. If you're getting dizzy, you probably don't want to do this thing. Let's see how we're doing. That's not really. Oh, wow, that's pretty good. All right, you guys are pretty circular. Got a figure eight going on. That's fancy. All right, you guys came prepared today. Look at that. How many of you are dizzy? If you're dizzy, put your hands up. Let me see. Anybody dizzy? Oh, you guys are professional. A bunch of you. Okay, well, stop doing that thing. What are you doing that for? That's not good. If you're dizzy, you shouldn't be doing that thing. All right, so let's see here. Another thing you got to be aware of. Listen, when I start moving around like that, actually, let me show you another thing real quick. If you face the stage, right, and you hold down on that left accelerator trigger, right, to go faster, and you go backwards and teleport at the ground, you're going to find you're doing like the Altspace moonwalk. Wait, what's that? Somebody's trying to get my attention over here. What are you saying? Anybody? No? Okay. I thought I heard somebody say something. What? Maybe? Huh, okay. All right. So what you're doing is you hold down that left accelerator button, right? Go backwards and teleport at the floor. As you're doing that, right, it's going to be like, kind of like the Allspace moonwalk, right? Which hopefully is not a copyright infringement. Oh, you're all going back, faster. That's cool. All right, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to mute everybody again because that's like really throwing me off, man. All right, here we go. All right, cool. All right. Now, also, you can teleport backwards by going like this. Stick your hand over your head and boom, teleporting backwards. Fun way to get around. It's nice to know you have options, right? All right. Now, another thing you can do here is, let's see. When I was first started playing with this stuff, I would go to the Universe, and back then it was held in a very large world. So I walked up to the edge of the world to explore when the event was over, and I'm looking over the edge, and the next thing you know, I fell. And as I'm falling, I look over and there's this cliff, and I go to teleport onto that cliff just like that. And I save myself from respawning. It's not like you can get hurt in Altspace, but I knew in that moment I was finally getting used to the controls, and you will too. It only takes a few days to a week or so to really get used to it, but there's going to come a time where even though you feel the plastic in your hands, the controllers, there's going to come a time where these actually become your hands, where you actually don't think about it. Like when I'm moving around up here, I don't think about the controls at all. I just do it. Like if I tell everybody, hey, everyone, look out that window, just like that, I don't think about how I'm pointing. I just do it, right? Now, like if you guys hold down your grip buttons, you're going to find that your hands go into a point. Right? Just like that. And you can combine this in a variety of ways. You can kind of give me a Brooklyn hello, like we do back home, like, hey, how you doing? How you guys doing? Just like that. Yeah, that's nice. Now maybe put them together, right? Make a triangle, make the Altspace logo and hold it up nice and high. Show me some Altspace pride, people. Oh, that's beautiful. All right, now twist them together. Make a picture frame so we can remember this moment forever, right? And then maybe like squeeze your trigger to get a little shutter action on that, right? How cool would it be to take screenshots like this? Look at that. Snap, snap. You're a beautiful audience. There you go. Snap, snap. Very nice. Another thing you can do is hold your grip buttons down, hold your trigger buttons down, and now you give me 2 thumbs up. Let me know I'm doing a good job up here, right? Oh, nice job, Michael. Or maybe it's not. I didn't like that guy at the beginning. That was kind of offensive. So 2 thumbs down, right? Maybe flip the hands together like this, right? This way you give me a little bit of both. Like I don't really know how this is going to work out. Maybe put them together. I don't know what that means, but people have been doing that lately. Maybe release your trigger buttons. You got kind of a W going on there, right? Maybe kind of combine it into some dance moves like that, right? That's a cool thing to do, right? One of the first quest times we ever had, somebody come up to the stage and they were going like this. So I did it back. And then the whole audience started going like this, right? And that's really the best way to pick this stuff up. When you see somebody doing something that you like, mirror it. And then you make that gesture your own. And before you know it, you're going to be making these gestures without even thinking about it. All right, just going to become part of your body language vocabulary, right? All right, now there's another button here you need to be aware of. It's very important, and don't press it now because if you disappear, I'm going to feel it. But on your right controller, down toward the bottom, that concave button, and if you're on the Quest 1, it's flat. Right, you got to think of this as kind of an eject button, right? Like say somebody comes in your space and says, hey, dinner's ready. You're going to be like, uh-oh, gotta go. And then you hit that button. And when you do, you're going to see a menu pops up, give you an option to quit or resume, right? This is great if you press that button by accident. Like you're at the Universe, you're dancing around, and all of a sudden you accidentally press that button, and all of a sudden you just hit resume. You're back in Altspace. It'll be like you never left, right? You can go ahead. What's this there? APC? Okay. No? No, you good? All right, cool. All right, just forget it. Just forget it. Just forget it. All right. So what you're gonna do here now is if you press on that select button there, right next to select button, the Oculus home button, that's like your eject button, right? And this is really good to press it in the event that things go wrong. All right. So when things go wrong, like for example, if I go to look out that window outside and I turn my head back and the whole world kind of moves with me, this could make you feel kind of dizzy in Altspace, right? Or in VR in general, it can make you feel kind of dizzy when that happens. Right. So it pays to have a quick route out. So if that happens, I press that eject button and then I press quit to close the app and then I restart the app and I come back in, and this is going to take care of most things. But there are going to be times where, let's say I look out towards that window and there's a black edge on the edge of the screen. And I'm like, uh-oh, the black void is returned. And I see that I've got it on the right side, I've got it on the top, I've got it on the bottom, and all of you are frozen in space and you all look very dramatic. You're all in these best posing, right there, very dramatic poses there. All right. And then I go ahead and I press that eject button. And when I do, as soon as I press that eject button, nothing happens. And then I'm like, Michael Forrest, you lied to me. Actually, I wouldn't say it like that because, I am Michael Forrest, but you might be like that. And that's not what's going on. What's happening is your device is frozen, and this could happen not just in Altspace, but in other apps as well. So it pays to know how to restart your headset, and it pays to know how to do that while it's still on your head, because if you take it off to restart it, you're going to find if it's not in a charge cycle and it's not lighting up and it takes a while to restart it, it can actually make you feel like your device is broken. So it's a good skill to have, to know how to restart it while it's still on your head. And the way you do this is you take your index finger and you swipe it up and down on the right side of your device. And you're going to feel that raised up power button, right? And when you do, take your index finger of your left hand. This way you're not moving the headset all over your face there, and you can kind of squeeze it together there, right? Just like that, and when you do that, let's see, you're going to squeeze it together, and I find it helps if you look down like you're in a deep concentration pose, right? And as you're doing that, right, after about 4 seconds, you concentrate so hard your avatar just disappears and you get plunged into the darkness, but you don't let go. You hang on. You just ride that out. 10 seconds go by, and all of a sudden you start wondering, man, why did Oculus make it take so long? After about 15 seconds go by, you start wondering about, your friends. You wonder how they've been doing. 20 seconds go by, and you start thinking about life. You start thinking about the big questions, right? Then after 20-something seconds go by, all of a sudden the Oculus logo emerges like the bat signal right out of the darkness. And when it starts to pulse, and sometimes you'll hear the Oculus tone, all you have to do is just take your hands away like that. And when you do that, your device is going to start as normal. And when that happens, it's going to take care of most of the problems you're going to have, not just in Altspace, but in other apps as well. It's going to take care of most things. But every so often, you might get something more severe. Like very recently, a couple of weeks ago, I came into Altspace to do an event. I get up on a stage, and I'm like, hey, everybody, my name is Michael Farr. And I was gone. I just disappeared. It closed right out to the Oculus main menu. And so I come back into Altspace. I got back on stage, and I'm like, oh, I'm sorry, everybody. I don't know what happened. And I was gone again, right? So when this happened, I reinstalled Altspace. Didn't help. Right. The only thing that did help was a factory reset. But you have to remember, if you need to do a factory reset, you're going to lose a lot of the things that you have on your device. Like you're going to have to re-download all your apps, but good news, you won't have to pay for them again. Any photos you have on the device, you're going to lose those. So back them up first before you try this if you can. And also, it's going to lose a lot of your settings. You might even lose your Beat Saber scores. Okay, that's serious business. Like Flips is a Beat Saber champion, and he's going to have to start from the whole beginning again. That's just messed up. But yeah, so keep that in mind if you have to do something like that. But it is good to know that it's an option. All right, now if you're here today, you've already played with the Guardian system. You've done the tour, you danced with the robot, all that kind of stuff, right? But did you know you can use your Guardian system to your advantage in Altspace? Now, before we were going around that big circle, a bunch of hands went up saying that you guys were dizzy, right? If you experience dizziness in VR, one thing that you can do that'll really help with this is if you take your hand, and even though this isn't your real hand, this still works. Take your hand and hold it up to your face like this. Right? And no joke, if you stare at your hand like that and make that your focal point, you're going to find that dizziness starts to pass. And when it does, just slowly take the hand away and take in the world around you, right? And you're going to find that helps. So do you know you can use your Guardian system for this purpose too, right? What you can do is, like, let's say that, and also listen, when you mess with your Guardian system, please remember to be very careful, all right? A lot of times in Altspace, you'll see somebody walking along, they're having a good day, then all of a sudden, bam, they hit a real world wall, because those real world walls are a menace and they need to be stopped. They're also hard to say, apparently. But if I walk up to my real world wall right now, nailed it, and I walk up to there like that with my hands out, right? This way, if you're new to VR especially, lead with your hands like that, because when the grid goes off, it'll give you a little bit of extra room. So that grid goes off right in front of me, and what you can do now is you can still touch your thumbsticks, right? So what I can do is I can move my thumbsticks around, so my avatar is moving around in Altspace while I'm still standing in front of that real world wall, right? And I can line up that real world wall with this display here, right? Get that all lined up there, and I can back up and take it all in, see how I did. And this is going to kind of create like a connection to the real world for me, right? I'm going to feel connected and balanced, right? And let's say I back up and I fall off the stage. I'm in the audience. Let's say you guys are in a nice crowd. Why don't you come over here and give me a hard time? Stick your hands in my face, do all the stuff you normally shouldn't be doing during an event. Do it right now. Get it out of your system. There's Flips. All right, now as long as I look at that display right there, you guys can't mess me up. Go ahead, try to make me dizzy, hands in the face. This is all you guys are being really polite. You guys are usually way worse than this. This is nothing. As long as I can still see that display, this is all you've got. This is really disappointing. You'll notice I'm not messing up my words. I'm having no problem talking because I can still see that display. All right. Another thing you can do is you can use this, like the edge of the stage here, and line this up with a real world, like desk or a table or something in your environment that's about that high. And this is going to give you kind of like a reference point to make you feel more balanced, especially if you're new to VR. Having that real world connection can make you feel a lot more stable. And all you have to do is just kind of like, lock onto it, and even if you have to, like, you can touch things that aren't even there, like this wall here, like, oh man, I'm winded. Oh man, I gotta get back on the stage, right? This is tough, and even though it's not there, it tricks your mind and it creates a sense of balance. All right, so that can really help with that. Another thing you can do is you can switch between a room scale experience and a stationary experience pretty effortlessly in Altspace. All right. So let's say I'm up here. You know what? I've hosted over 500 events in Altspace, and man, I'm tired. Right. So what I want to do is like I'll go up to the edge of my space, right, and I'll have my hands out to make sure I can put my head through the pass through, right. And when I do that, I'll be able to see the real world. But you know, if you have the advanced features turned on, experimental features, you could do this double tap pass through, and this is really cool. You'll go tap tap, and all of a sudden you can see the real world. It actually exists. And when I'm looking at the real world, I can see, oh, I've got my chair right over there. So I can move over into my chair like this, right? And I turn around, I sit down, you know, get in there, and I press the blue button saying I want to have a stationary experience. And as soon as I press that button, the grid comes up, and I find that not only am I still in VR, but I'm still in Altspace. The only difference is my avatar is going to be way down low right here. Right, because I'm sitting down now, right? And now all you have to do then is press down on your left thumbstick like it's a button, because it is, and you're gonna kind of snap into place. We got APC doing it here. APC, show everybody when you press down on the left thumbstick. Show everybody what happens. Boom. See how it just snapped into place? If you're feeling too tall or too short in Altspace, all you have to do is press down on that left thumbstick. It'll take care of that. You can also use this to make small adjustments to your height, right? So let's say I'm talking to somebody who in the real world is usually taller than me, and I want to make myself feel a little bit shorter. All I gotta do is look up and press down that left thumbstick, and my avatar will pop down a little bit, right? This works in the other direction too. If I want to feel a little bit taller, I look down and I push down the left thumbstick, and now I pop up a little bit, right? And also, you know, you can make minor adjustments to your height. If you want to be the same height as everybody else, just look straight ahead when you press down that left thumbstick, and then you'll be all taken care of there. All right, and now this works in the other direction too, with the changing to a room scale experience to a stationary experience. Like there was one time I was moderating an event, and I wanted to get up and walk around. Big deal for me, so I figure I'd get up and I just walk right into my Guardian, right? Well, you know what? Your Quest can lose your Guardian system sometimes due to changing light levels. Also due to, you know, for one reason or another, your device can't resolve where it is in your space, right? So what can happen is, oh, I got the thumbs going up. Yeah. All right, APC. All right, cool. So yeah, for one reason or another, your headset doesn't know where it is, and it asks you to draw a new boundary, right? So what happens is, so like normally that's not a big deal, but when there's 2 minutes left in the event, it is a very big deal. So I start drawing out the space again, and I'm like, man, why did my space have to be so large? And of all the times I had to moderate for an admin flips, why did it have to be today? And then all of a sudden, as I close that loop, the grid comes up out of the ground, and I find that not only am I still in VR, but I'm still in Altspace. I never left. Now, this is going to enable you to have standing experience and seated experience pretty effortlessly without leaving the event. So let's say you're at an event and you're like, man, I had no idea this guy was going to talk for so long. I ought to sit down. I'm exhausted. You can do that. Or maybe you're at an event and you're like, man, that Michael Forrest, he got me so motivated. He got me pumped up. I feel like running around. You can totally do that. Just don't run into a wall, please. All right. All right, cool. All right. Now, another thing that you can do, and this isn't useful, it's just cool, is if you go to the edge of your space, right, and you got enough room for your head to pass through it, as soon as you move your head through, that real world camera's, the pass-through camera's going to go off, and you'll see the real world. If you do this super slow, there's a sweet spot where you'll be able to see both realities at the same time, right? So what you can do, oh, you're pressing them buttons. Are you getting anywhere with that? Okay. How's that working out? All right. So what happens is you press the when you see that real world, the pass-through go off, and when that happens, lost that completely. You'll be able to see both realities at the same time, and this gives you a sense of how tall avatars actually are by seeing them in a familiar environment, like your living room, or your office, or wherever it is you VR from. Okay. So that's just it's not useful. It's just fun to do. You see avatars in your home environment just by moving through that pass-through super slow. All right, there's that little sweet spot right there where you can see both at the same time. All right, cool. Now, let's see. Now, the great thing about the Quest is it just works. Now, this doesn't mean it can't work better. There's a lot of accessories that really improve the experience. And for the Quest 2, a lot of these accessories, they're more like necessities, right? Like the original strap that the Quest 2 comes with, a lot of people find that's really uncomfortable. If you're one of those and you haven't tried the Elite strap yet, you can always, tilt the arms on the side. That can make you increase the comfort a little bit. The Elite strap, they've stopped shipping them because they were breaking on people, and now they started shipping again, and they're so confident in the new design that they actually extended the warranty to be a 2-year warranty, which is great. Now listen, we're building a list up of accessories that we recommend for the Quest 2. If you are on a Quest 1 and you'd like to try the stuff that we have tried, the stuff that we recommend, you can go to altvr.com, and in the upper left you're going to see a link that says channels. Now when you click on this, you're going to see all these Altspace event channels listed out in front of you. Ravenhall events will be down toward the bottom, not that that means anything, and when you click on Ravenhall events, events, you get taken to our event page. There you can join our Discord if you want to say hello or you have any questions. You can also, in the upper right, press the subscribe button. That helps us out because it lets Altspace know that you enjoy our content. Helps us even more when you subscribe to our YouTube channel. And if you are watching that on YouTube, you'll find links to these products in the description below. But listen, if you have tried any accessories for the Oculus Quest 2, I want to hear about those. So what we're going to do now is we're going to open up for questions here. If you have any questions or comments or you've tried an accessory, we want to hear about it. So what's going to happen now is I'm going to jump to these menus and stall as I'm doing so. Here we go. You're going to see a raise hand button appear as if by magic in your lower right. It's true. That's what magic looks like in VR. Now, if you tried any accessories for the Oculus Quest 2 or you have any questions or anything like that, just go ahead and press that raise hand button in your lower right. It'll turn blue. You'll be on my list and I'll get to feel like a radio host when I call on your name. In the meantime, if you want to find us on Twitter, you can find us at Ravenhall VR. Let me see. We don't have anybody on the list yet. All right, none of you guys have any questions? All right, cool. That works for me. All right. At the end of our events, one of the things that we do is we press this Talon call button. And when we do, you're going to see a Ravenhall Talon hovercraft fly down the street past this glass window, up over those trees, and land in that backyard area just outside. And when it does, I see you got your hand up there, Unicorn Queen. Let's see. Are you on that list there? You got to press that raise hand button. Let's see here. There you are. Okay, Unicorn Queen, what's up? You have any questions or what's up? You're on the air.
I forgot.
You forgot. Well, that's okay. That can happen. When you get on a list like that, and all of a sudden, whoa, everybody's listening to me, and these are actually people. That can really throw you. But it's it's cool. Cool that you're trying. That's awesome. Good to see that. All right, everybody. All right, so I'm going to go ahead. I'm going to press that button on the wall there, and you're going to see a Ravenhall Talon hovercraft fly down the street, up over those trees, and land in the backyard area. And that's going to take us out to the Ravenhall Flight Academy, where we can teach you guys how to fly. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and press this button right now. Everybody, take a look here. Look out direct your attention out the window.
Ravenhall Talon aircraft en route to your position.
Now, you can actually fly the ship if you want to. This aircraft is available to fly by joining me at the Ravenhall Flight Academy. And listen, as we head on out, if you guys have learned anything here today, please share it with those you come in contact with. So let's say that, you encounter somebody and they're down low on the ground. You go, what's wrong? And I'm on a quest and I'm stuck on the ground. What do I do? You tell them to press on that left thumbstick. They'll pop up and they'll feel better. You'll feel better because you helped somebody. And that's kind of how we keep this thing going. Here it comes, everybody.
Talon aircraft is now boarding outside for transport to the Ravenhall Flight Academy. Please exit the building and step into the blue light. Thank you.
All right, everybody. Thanks for coming. You've been a great audience. What's up, Flips? Oh, I appreciate you helping out, Flips. Thanks so much. I'll see you soon. All right, cool. All right, everybody. Join me at the Academy. See you next time.